Hey, it's Eric here. Let's go ahead and talk about the more advanced sound techniques in Scratch. I'll go ahead and assume that you have a basic understanding of these sound blocks already, and if you don't, go ahead and check out the basic sound tutorial. But now let's go ahead and talk about the more complex sound editing techniques and abilities we have in Scratch. So we'll go ahead, open up our sound tab, and we'll import a new sound. So I'll go ahead, click the speaker, and I want to import a hip hop track. So we'll go ahead, double click it, and we see this really cool sort of graphic user interface here. Let's go over what we can manipulate here. So on the top, we see we have the title. So we can easily change this. Instead of hip hop, I want it track 1. Okay. Right here to the right, we see the undo and the redo buttons. So as we start manipulating this audio, if we ever make a mistake, we can go back. And if we want to go forward on that mistake, we can go ahead and hit the forward or the redo. So we see here, this is really cool. This is actually the waveform, and a waveform is a graphic interpretation of the sound. So we can see it's really silent here, and then it grows in volume here, and then it gets silent, and grows, gets silent. So this is actually really handy when you start to edit sounds, because you know what sounds you want to get rid of when a beat starts, when it stops. It's really, really useful, as you'll see as we start to demonstrate how to use some of these other tools. So moving on, we see we have what looks familiar. That's the play, the pause button. So quickly, and then pause, and then record. And we'll get into this too a little bit later in the tutorial. Here quickly, we have the edit tools. So undo, redo, which we mentioned earlier. So we can click here to undo or redo, and also in the parentheses there, the Z, that's just a key shortcut to use all of these. So we see we have the cut tool, the copy and the paste. So let's go ahead and actually use this cut tool really quick. So say we don't want something in the song. So say we want to cut out the intro. We can go ahead, click, and then hold down and drag, and you see that really pretty blue? That means everything in that blue is highlighted. So whatever is highlighted, we will be able to manipulate. So say we want to cut out that beginning right here. Okay, we can go edit and then cut, and there you go. So again, whatever you highlight will be manipulated. So here's our new track. Cool, I like that. It's less jarring. Likewise, copy and paste, that's pretty self-explanatory. So if you want to copy a sound, you can go ahead and copy and paste it. Again, using the highlighting whatever you want to manipulate. Okay, so let's go dive into the fun effects we have here. So fade in. So fade in, that will create a nice, fade in into the track. So you notice it starts out kind of high here. So we'll go ahead and add a fade in. And you can see that it gently brings in the track. So again, actually, let's fade in a little bit more of the track so we can see how this looks. Okay, see how it gently comes up. So we'll go ahead and play. Nice, nice. Okay, and fade out is obviously, it's going to fade out the track. And you can use these wherever you highlight. And here's something interesting. So this is the louder and the softer. And essentially the louder gives you the ability to raise the volume. So we can select all of our track here. And if we hit the louder, all of these waveforms are going to raise up in volume. Actually, I think we need the opposite. I think we want everything softer. So we can go ahead and hit the softer. And you'll notice here in the waveforms, they're going to shrink, and it's going to get a little bit softer. There you go. So now it's not as loud, not as jarring. Very nice. And just to illustrate the louder, I'll go ahead and actually go back in here and hit louder just for the heck of it. So there you go, louder, softer. Cool? All right, and you've probably got a sneak peek too. Below this, in this section, is the silence, and that's actually, pretty useful. So say we want to create some silence here in the beginning of the song. We can go ahead, get rid of these. We can highlight them, and then we'll go ahead and add silence, and you'll see it's just going to flatten out that waveform. So there you go. So now we have a little bit of silence here in the beginning. Nice, very cool, very cool. And then lastly, one of the most fun effects actually is the reverse sound effect. And what that does is you can highlight everything or whatever part you want reversed, and just as it says, you can make it in reverse. So it actually has a really cool sound to it, especially doing some of these hip hop tracks. We'll go ahead and play it. It's cool. I like it. I like it. Actually, I think I like it better forward. So go ahead and hit back. So all right, that's been your look at advanced sound in Scratch. I hope you have fun.